Hello, children of the web or video game hippies. Promised a review of the hardware, so I'm going to go ahead and do this. I apologize because I didn't know the best way to do this. So you might want to blow the screen up into a big screen here so you can kind of see everything that's going on, and there might be a little bit of glare to the TV. I try to do everything I could to best make it work, so hopefully it'll look good. I really apologize, but I'll try to be as clear as I can about how things are working so you get a visual of that. The Kinect was actually made for the new Xbox Small or Slim or whatever. And so I know a lot of you might be worried. The good news about Kinect is that when they package it, see, you have to have a power adapter if you have the old Xbox. They actually pack you the power adapter, which of course you don't need if you have the Slim. But they do pack it. And you also need a USB cable that changes the adapter for the, I almost called it the Project Natal, for the Kinect. And that also comes packaged with it. So if you have the old Xbox, it comes with all the accessories you need, and it'll still work just fine with your Xbox. No worries. I always want to call it Project Natal! I have some complaints, and I have some things that I like. Obviously, when they showed it at E3, and Peter had talked about it, they just talked about a lot of things that aren't here. Or else I'm just completely missing them. And I don't notice them, because I don't see them. I don't know if anybody remembers Xbox on. No, that doesn't work. But there are some things that do work. As you can see, I've got the Kinect right up here above the TV. So if you're like wanting to watch it, it's up here. I think my biggest disappointment is how flat the bottom of it is here. I'm not going to pick it up, but basically it's really hard to place anywhere because you can't lay it on top of the TV because it's too big if you have a flat screen TV. I mean, if you have a projection TV, I guess that works fine. You know, I could have set it down here, down at the bottom, but I needed more room, so I had to push it back, and I made the little stand for it. But there is a stand for it that you can buy. Really, I just wish they would have thought about that. Knowing that most people have flat screen TVs, they should have had some way to like have it connect and be in the box. I mean, that's just my thought. You have the option, if you're on online play, you can turn the Kinect itself on to interact with and talk to, so you don't have to personally wear the headset like I was saying. So obviously I have that on. Look at that. And if you watch the Kinect, it also moves and actually follows you. The camera does a really good job of that. Very cool. Okay. If you can't see me, the camera basically follows me very well. I'm really doing something bad here. But it keeps up with wherever you're at. I'm going to show you how everything works. My biggest complaint, just right off the beginning to tell you though, is the controller itself. The point of Kinect was to be completely controller free. I have noticed times where you actually have to have the controller. For instance, originally I remember at E3 they talked about how you could say Xbox on, and the Xbox would turn on for you. It's not that way. You actually have to go up to your console and turn it on, or you actually have to press the power button on your controller to turn it on, which can be a little disappointing to a degree. It's not a huge deal, but when you thought it was going to be one way, that is disappointing. Because if you use the controller to turn it on, you turn your controller on, and if you're still using batteries, then, of course, once you get the Xbox turned on, you have to take the time to shut down your Xbox controller, which it kind of defeats the purpose, but maybe to some degree it makes sense because easily so throughout the day maybe the Kinect could accidentally think it heard you say Xbox on and it would turn your Xbox on. I don't know. I mean, it seems to do a really good job of hearing me, so that would seem kind of weird if that was the case. But that's my complaint about the no controller. That's not a big deal though. And then I have noticed sometimes in gameplay I'll get kicked off Xbox Live. If I get kicked off Xbox Live, it pops up a screen that says you're disconnected from Xbox Live. And instead of being able to use the hands-on menu, you have to turn on a controller and hit OK. And that can really slow things down for you. I was a little disappointed with that, so just hopefully you never get kicked off Xbox Live. Basically, this here, that you see down here, is the camera. So it sees what's going on. Now, it might not be that easy for you to see it all. I'll probably zoom into it here, maybe. I don't know if I did. But I mean, it's just a black and white glow view, almost like thermal. Everything else is pretty much the same. There's two different ways to connect to the Kinect Hub. The Kinect Hub is where you will be able to access all the games, the music, anything that you would be using wirelessly. Without a controller, I guess. So there's two different ways to go into that. The main way is to wave your hand And you'll see down here, there's the hand. If I wave my hand, it'll pick that up and register it. And boom. There, now it's picked me up. Now basically this is my options here, and I can go through to any one of these. I should be standing up because it's not going to pick up the sensor very well. And you just place your hand over it to do it. You can set up your Kinect ID, which is actually a really awesome thing. I'm not going to do that right now. Kinect ID, basically it does a few things to try to recognize your face. So every time you turn on your Xbox, it sees your face and knows it's you and automatically signs you in without you having to sign yourself in. So if you have more than one person on your console, that's very awesome. You can go through and see your achievements, everything. This is the Kinect Tuner. The Kinect Tuner is a very smart thing for you to do. If it doesn't make you do this during setup, do it before you play a game. It's just you need to do it in order to get really good responsive gameplay. So now you've kind of seen everything here. Now, of course, if you have Xbox Live, there is a few more menus here that you can go through. There's a menu here where you can swipe and go across. That menu, you know, is like your Zune, or I don't know what, is it FM player? Your Zune player, and then over here, sliding over, there's just a few other options. I mean, it's Xbox Live stuff that you're normally used to, but it's easier to access in here. That's all it is. So I'm going to go ahead and head back to the main menu. Recognize me, please. Okay. This is the only part where I feel like sometimes it can be really unresponsive. I don't like hand gestures. The other way to connect to the hub is to speak to it. But basically, it does a really good job of recognizing you. Xbox. Connect. And as you can see there, it brought me straight to the hub itself. And it works very well. And from here, you can do the same again. You will say the word Xbox, and then it'll give you the options that you can say, and you'll be able to see the options right here, and you will just say what it says to do it. Very simple stuff. Xbox. Open tray. And as you can see, it opened the tray to my disk drive. So basically, I mean, it does everything that you need it to do. It works pretty smooth in this sense. I just talked to it. The hand gestures seem a little weird to me. I'm not really, I don't know. I mean, it works, but it just, talking to it is so much easier. But I mean, as you see here, I mean, it follows me very well. It keeps up with me. So it's not like there's a huge delay or a lag. It follows you very well. Xbox. Dashboard. So it is. I mean, it's really responsive. That part of it works really well. The only thing that's kind of disappointing here is you can't interact with anything here. So basically, the only time you can really interact with it personally is in the Kinect Hub. Maybe we'll see updates that let us do more with that, but as of right now, that's all it is. So I hope that maybe you're not buying it just hoping, oh, I can have a wireless remote to navigate Netflix or navigate through my menus. No, you can't right now. It's just for the Kinect Hub. So you can use it for your Zune player and stuff like that if you watch videos on there. I haven't seen anything with the Netflix myself. I use Netflix Instant Stream. So that's a little disappointing in that sense. But, I mean, other than that, I mean, that's really it. That's how it works. It is very responsive. The camera does a good job following you. There have been a little bit of maybe delay or lag in some of the games that I played, but for the most part, it's not enough to take away from the gameplay itself. I basically showed you everything I want to show you with the Xbox Kinect and how it works. Since it comes with Kinect Adventures, it's listening to me. Since it comes with Kinect Adventures, I'm going to go ahead and do a review of that, but I will do a Sonic Free Riders review separately.